Ben Turney, the CEO of Kavango Resources, following news from the company regarding their maiden drill campaign at the KCB. So hello, Ben. Thank you for your time. How are you doing?
Excellent, Mark. Thanks again for having me.
Well, no, thank you for coming on. It wasn't long ago we spoke last time, and you said you want to be cracking on and getting this drill campaign underway. And we talked about the 188 holes, that very large 3,700 meters in total?
37,000.
37,000 meters. Yeah, so a lot of drilling to go on, and you've settled on the initial 6 high priority targets. So how, first of all, did you come to the conclusion that you want to focus on these ones initially?
Well, a number of things have driven today's decision. We've also been quite lucky as well. Mindea, who obviously are our drill partner, they've been active in the KCB recently. They've had some significant success on another project elsewhere that's privately held, which has been very good for the region. So Mindea have been sort of there for the last few months. We've obviously continued in talks with them. But we got word from them a few weeks ago that they might have an opportunity where there'd be a pause in the current campaign they were working on, and the multi-purpose rig would be available for a few weeks. So obviously we had the LVR deal that we needed to finalise. We announced that a couple of weeks ago. We accelerated our 90% ownership of the LVR project. It wouldn't have made any sense for us to start drilling on this license 082 until we'd actually secured that 90% stake. So we pushed that through. That's something we've been knocking around for a little while. So that obviously opened up the door for us to be able to make a commitment to Mindea. But we had to wait to hear from them as to exactly how much availability they had. Now at this stage, the rig's only available for about 3 weeks before it returns to the other project. But that gives us a good opportunity to get into the license 082 and do some initial test drilling. Now, ideally, what we would like to do is to drill what are called fences of holes. So that's where you drill a number of holes in alignment, obviously to maximise your chances of success. We haven't got the time to be able to do that right now. So instead, what we're doing is we've designed this drill program to test a number of the targets individually. So basically, Mark, what we're looking to do is we're putting a couple of holes into 3 target areas. And we're looking to confirm, obviously, the underlying geology, because this area, there is sand cover, and we believe it's an analogue of the Banana Zone deposit slightly to the south. So our focus is to test that theory. Obviously, we're looking to make a discovery here. So, we are targeting a potential copper deposits. We've got these very strong soil readings at surface, which is obviously, we hope, a very good indicator. But we're also looking for this very, very crucial Nguaco Pan Dakar formational contact, which is what controls all of the commercial deposits throughout the region. So at the moment, it's very, very exciting. There's a bit of theory relating to this. But with the different data sets that we have, everything appears to be pointing in the right direction, and that this is very, very prospective ground. So we can't wait to get the drill bit turning as quickly as we can.
Excellent. Well, it certainly sounds like Mindea are being kept very busy in the area. And you mentioned there that the rig, the multi-purpose rig, capable of both diamond and RC drilling. You said 2 holes, 3 target areas. So just can you explain a little bit more about this? Is it one rig that's going to almost drill 2 holes next to each other or not?
Yeah, exactly. So it's the same rig will drill the holes, not quite next to each other. There'll be a little bit of distance between the two. But the reason the multi-purpose rig is important, Mark, is that RC drilling is obviously much, much cheaper. So you can get, give or take, about 3 times the number of meters per dollar when you're drilling RC versus diamond. So RC gives us the opportunity to cover the ground. But where the diamond is important is that this then gives us the opportunity to move from effectively getting sort of rock chips up to surface, which is what you receive with RC. You can still measure those rock chips. You can, it's still very useful physical data you get. But of course, diamond core drilling enables you to bring up actual rock core. So the pictures that we use, we published from our previous drill campaigns down at the KS7 Dittel. Those were diamond holes we drilled. So that's where you get these photos and these wonderful core samples. Now, the core samples are obviously extremely important, because if we do get to the point where we think we're about to make a discovery, it's at that point that we want to make sure that we can get rock cores out. So at this stage, having a multi-purpose rig on site, if we do get lucky in our first couple of holes and we hit something that looks significant, it will give us the opportunity to switch over to diamond straight away. So that's a real advantage in terms of how this program's been designed.
Okay, and this aligns with what we were saying last time about moving swiftly and actually, getting on with the job. And the drill's going to start turning in, a couple of weeks, the 9th of October, and you're hoping to have results coming through in November. So it's a pretty rapid turnaround.
Well, look, we're not messing around with this. The new Kavango moves quickly. I know that there's been a bit of frustration out there as to how long it's taken us to get to this point. But as we saw with the drill strategy that we announced earlier this week, we've done very, very comprehensive work across the KCB. Our drill strategy, as you mentioned at the start, we're planning now 37,000 metres in total. We're going to do this in a staged approach, and today is the first stage of that. So we're doing exactly what we said we would do, and really now it's all about a numbers game. If those copper deposits exist across our licence areas, I believe we've done everything we can now at this point to maximise our chances of finding them. And it's a case now of putting holes into the ground and seeing what we can discover.
I do know that investors generally can get frustrated with the time it takes to get their results back, and that we often hear from CEOs the labs are backed up. Are you fairly confident you'll be okay on that front?
Well, the labs are backed up at the moment, Mark, which is a function of two things. First of all, years of underinvestment. We've had a decades old bear market in resource exploration, so there just simply isn't that much capacity out there. And of course, over recent years, with the metals bull markets entering this what we believe is a commodity super cycle, there's just been a huge amount of more exploration happening worldwide, which has caused a bottleneck in the labs. Now, last year this situation was worsened by COVID. But so far this year, touch wood, we're not seeing sort of a repeat of what happened this time last year. So I'd hope that things will improve and that we will be able to get results back quicker than before. But equally, we are at the mercy of capacity. So I'm conscious that, last year we hoped to get the results quicker than they did, and the KSZ ones took forever to come through. I think this will be more straightforward because just the nature of this type of drilling and the type of core samples or the rock samples we have should hopefully be easier to analyse. But we'll just have to cross that bridge when we come to it.
Okay, excellent. Well, this is, of course, the maiden drilling campaign on the KCB. How are you feeling? It must be an exciting time when this happens. And, of course, what about the rest of the potential programme? You've got 182 holes to go to plan for?
Well, I'm feeling great about it, Mark. Look, to mobilise the rig this quickly, this is what I'm in this job for. We're all here to make discoveries. We're not sort of sitting on our hands with this. So it's just wonderful. This year we're going to have drilled all 3 of our projects. This is my first full calendar year as CEO of Kavango, and I don't think there's another exploration play on London that's performing as well as we are. I look at the improvements across the team, our team meetings now, the work that we're doing together. I just feel an immense sense of pride with everything that we're doing. It's a really, really good time to be involved in Kavango. In terms of the next steps, today, obviously, 082, this is in part of the LVR joint venture. The majority of the rest of our ground is held in the Kavango Resources JV, which currently is still 50-50 owned with Power Metal Resources. We're obviously not going to commit to a drill campaign until that transaction completes. We've done a huge amount of work, particularly on license 036 and the Mamuno licenses. We're very, very excited about getting out there to drill those. But the first step before we can commit to that, of course, is to get this power transaction completed so that we can then move forward with 100% ownership project. So that's very much a priority for us. But right now, Mark, license 082, if you look at it on the map, it's one of our smaller licenses, but it's huge. It's a really big area of land. We've got 3 main target areas down this. We've got the 27-kilometre central zone, which is 27 kilometres in length, in strike. We've got the northern zone that's now 9 kilometres long. And of course, this middle zone that we identified as a new target yesterday, which is a further 1.5 kilometres. This one licence alone for a company of our size, and bear in mind our market cap is sub 7 million at the moment. I mean, license 082 could see our share price go up 3 or 4 times in the event of a discovery. And we've got targets here that there could be any number of discoveries on this ground. So, yeah, it's a great time to be involved in Kavango. Obviously, market conditions are difficult, but I think in terms of sort of setting ourselves up ready for the recovery, we're looking in really great shape.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Ben Turney, the CEO of Kavango Resources.
Thanks for having me.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stopboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.